Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for giving me a voice. I will talk. I am Gawel from Government University. I will today talk about microbial ecology cells. In this case, I show you genetic transformation waste cooking oil to fuel by this bacteria based on work of Professor Piotr Rutkowski from Wrocław University of Technology. The work is published in Energy Conversion and Management this year, and this microbial electrolysis cell is showing how to use the question to settle the electrode in horizontal or vertical way is better. What is better or worse? The microbial electrolysis cell use design that use uh, different uh, substrate, not only water, which was on designed by Professor Iqbal. Here is showing that many others coming from acetate, butanol, ethanol. He chose the different kinds were bacteria coming from wastewater. The importance shows that before between waste are lipids due to remediation engines and lipid industry, from butter industry, dairy industry, oil industry is very high. And this needs different cases. It also is, of course, by fermentation, but different methods can be also used to utilize lipids. He chose to show, to check how microbial electrolysis cell or fuel cell would work. The work was assembly was taken in the special two uh, square shaped rooms vessels which were containing electrodes self of 8 centimeter height and 5 width and length with 9 centimeter square area, surface area, and cathode was made from activated carbon. The and on the anode was bacteria taken from wastewater treatment, and was also the anode was also some salts. The activated surge was taken as feed food or using the solution of acetic acid, so as carbon source and as useful. And then in the first stage, for change daily for 8 weeks, and after 3 days was for putting the oil of concentration 0.1%. The quace cooking oil was used, and the cycle secret was giving the electrode from 0.7 to 0.5 field voltage area. This showing that not extra charging was used, but measuring the 0.507 voltage. The method was using first type is horizontal, so the right wall was used cathode and flowing the oil and giving the methane. Another case was on the top is other, and what is better? There also was used the forming was the difficulties that were blocking uh, the flow. Therefore, there was needed to the 0.1% as most useful because after, in case of higher concentration of fat, forming was too high to be flow. So this is the first. The power in case of horizontal and vertical was in first was the time for 50 days, and this showing that in case of only acetic, the the horizontal has not vertical with steering, has horizontal have much higher power voltage given. So 0.35 was given by horizontal. So higher speed steering. And similarly, in case of fat, in first 15 days, 20 days, better was vertical steering. But then after 20 days, horizontal were better of splitting, of conversion of oil. This shows that this depends of time. What is better? The steering doesn't have much in longer time. Therefore, the potential was produced. The methane which was produced was cleaner, purer, unlike the case when we have, for example, in anaerobic digestion. In anaerobic digestion, the bacteria produce fat and then produce transfer to methane. The gas is carbon more impure and needs to be more separated. But in case of using this microbial electrolysis cell, the there is much higher concentration, 80% so enough for chemical synthesis. Therefore, they show that code removal with was with overall after 60 days. The code removal in these 20 days was so much higher in case of vertical with steering that, however, in case of horizontal after some time was much higher. It wasn't degradation enough higher to exceed steering. So vertical steering is used is fine for math, but horizontal will be longer. It's the difficulties is that we need to check the which case needs to change, how to recover this in case of vertical steering to have similar. This is the similar conversion of waves. This shows that setup was very efficient for removing oil and gives some good pure methane, higher than in case of anaerobic digestion. It is very useful to show that fats can be also. It can be also itself quite useful because it can be some settlements in, for example, restaurants with much oil, and the rest of oil will be spilled, and then will be produced methane that could be returned back for cooking. So this is a very good idea for some restaurants for cooking, and but it requires some strict rules of oil use oil removal and waste disposal, and then we can retake and we have very good idea. So for small and useful. And this microbial electrolysis cells shows another case that we can use this. And this is quite good with cooperation would be with other systems, the bacterians, but still the, we not know how to stabilize, to keep these bacteria stable in this vertical steering. But this will be soon, I think, still in research focusing. But this is very good promising method, I think. Thank you very much for listening to me.